Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jenny. Thank you once again for clicking on this video today. Uh, Happy Thursday. Maybe you might see it on Friday. Happy Thursday to you all. I hope you're having an amazing time. I am having an amazing time. So this morning I thought about coming on and just sharing about something that's really, good. Like you need my time. My topic today is how to be teachable, or the willingness to learn. Okay? The reason I think it's very, very important, because many times we struggle, to allow people to pour inside of us, to just get to that place where we are ready to receive from other people. Wisdom does not end. Knowledge does not end. Whether you're how old, it always continues. You have to continue to be willing to learn from people, maybe mostly mature people, but mostly from people that have walked a path before you. And you can even learn from a very young child. Like there's no age group for learning of a knowledge. So I'm here to tell you more about that. How do I say this? So earlier on in my childhood, I have partly been raised by my grandparents. God rest their souls. They were really amazing people in the area of teaching. They're teachers by nature, so they would teach us at every moment. Like every moment you're with them. If I'm with my grandfather in the farm, or we are taking care of, like, oh, I've gone with him, or you've gone with him somewhere to, either to visit people, because our home was always receiving people, being that he was like a preacher. So it was, our home was always filled with people coming in to talk to him, people coming in to visit. So our home was always like that. So, but every moment that there was an opportunity, I would always be near them. My grandmother, my grandfather, they were amazing. So I would literally be near them, and they would teach me so much about life, about God. And that for me helped me to kind of put it in my mindset that I must always, keep learning. And then later on, I grew and, of course, went to university, finished school, and got a job. Now, during that season, I was like, I don't know, I think it's just when you're young, you're very naive about things. So I was like, um, so I got a job right after university. I didn't really, be there without a job for a very long time. So I got a job right after uni. I was just 23 years old, okay? Don't calculate my age. But yeah, I was 23 years old. That's like 6 plus 7, coming to 7 years ago. And so my boss would always want, he would always want things a certain way. And like a boss, of course, they demand results, they demand things a certain way. And for me, in my naiveness, in my innocence, I always thought like, like in that age, you're just so sensitive. You don't want people to talk to you. When people talk to you, you feel like you have to defend yourself. I was always defending myself all the time for something I did, or like even something that I don't have to. I always went for the defense. And then one day he sat me down and he told me, Jenny, I want to tell you something. That in life, if you want to go far, you got to be willing for people to rebuke you. You have to be willing, and you have to learn from people. And for me that day, when he told me that, I felt like, something in me just shifted, and it just sat the other side. And he told me, you don't have to defend yourself every time I'm pointing out something. You don't have to defend yourself every time I'm teaching you something. And for me, I thought it was a way of protecting myself, but I was actually blocking myself from people instilling in me knowledge. And that's when I learned, but I realized it was the age stage. But then I was also struggling with things like self-confidence. I wasn't confident, self-esteem. My self-esteem was so low. So I felt like I had to prove myself. I felt like I have to, show people who I am. Like, I always have to prove myself, I always have to defend myself, because I didn't want people to, critique me, or people to tell me that you are doing this wrong. And I want to encourage young people, please make sure that you always let people pour inside of you. Let people pour knowledge, let people pour wisdom, let people give you, teach you something that you do not know. Because guess what? In life, if you do not have a teachable spirit, if you're not willing to learn from people, you're going to stay stagnant. Like water that is just collected there and it's not moving, it's just there. Okay? But if you want to learn so much, from people, from the people around you, you gotta be willing to let people pour knowledge inside. You have to be willing to let people critique you. I know it's not fun, it's not funny, it's not nice. You don't like to be told that you're doing this wrong. It's by nature we defend ourselves. But you gotta reach to a place whereby it's no point for me to defend myself if I'm naive or I'm ignorant about something. And for me, that has helped me to become humble and to let people speak in my life. I give people opportunities to speak and I make it easy for them. Even when it's hurting, I look at it in a place that, you know what, you're learning, Jenny. You're learning, and the only way you can learn is if you fail, is if you make mistakes, and let other people that have walked that journey before you tell you that actually you can do this, or you don't have to make that reckless decision. You don't have to make that, you don't have to do this because I did it and this is what happened. Okay, many times it's good to learn from experience, but it's also good not to fall into a ditch if someone has already told you there's a ditch there. So I keep, I want to encourage young people mostly, but even people are mature. There's no age limit that says you stop learning from here. You have to keep growing, you have to keep learning. But how do you do that? Is if you're willing to actually learn, is if you're willing to learn from anybody. And knowledge does not come from specific people or people who are learned or people who have attained a certain amount of accomplishments. No, learning is a natural thing. You can learn from a child how to be patient. You can learn from a child how to be patient. You can learn from a mad person. You can learn from anyone, from a stranger. You can learn from anybody. For as long as you have this teachable spirit, you learn so much. And for me, how I managed to kind of tread on that and learn so much, I feel like I have attained so much knowledge for my age that many people actually don't even have it, because in that season when my boss told me that, I now train myself how to listen. So I would listen more than I would speak, and I would have many people come in my life and speak. I would give people avenues to talk, and I would always just listen, and I would speak like 5% and they would talk like 95%. But that helped me to also learn so much from people. And I would go on and listen to these amazing speakers speak, and I'll pick stuff from them. For me, every time I'm on a video or on a YouTube video that I'm listening to, whether it's an interview, it's a dialogue, or it's I'm learning something, I always listen attentively with that thing in my head, like I'm learning something from these people, so I must be very attentive and learn and pick knowledge. And also just reading books and being very random, reading books. I love to read. Just reading any books. I think that is all at having the willingness to learn, knowing that I need so much. I'm ignorant about so many things, so I must learn, I must listen. So you gotta practice listening more. I know many people love to talk, and there are people that you talk to and they don't even give you an opportunity to talk. Like literally, like someone just talks from the beginning of the conversation to the very end, and they're not even sensitive about maybe listening what your view has to say. It's good. Sometimes it's therapy for people. Sometimes people just need to get things off their chest. But then at the same time, you must practice to listen more than you speak, because it's amazing. Okay, try it. It's liberating. You learn so much, and you be the last one to speak. So you speak a lot of sense, yeah, that people just say all the nonsense, and by the end of the conversation, like, what did you say? Like, I didn't pick anything impactful in your conversation. So yes, so that's why I'm here to inform you and to tell you that you have to be willing to learn from people. You have to have an open mind. Don't close in, don't build walls. Let people in, let people in your life, and let people be able to speak in your life, and build you up. Okay, build you up, make you, critique you. It's okay for people to critique. By the way, when people critique you, most times they're critiquing from a place of love. If you have people, like, people are mature than you, like, I know I over talk about my sister, but she's one person that is very loving, and she loves, and she is brutal, she's honest. If even when you're talking to her and you see something work or something that is really lame, she'll call it out there, and then she's like, don't say that again. And I love that about her. She says, do not say that again, because you sound funny, or you sound odd. It's just off. And sometimes it's hurting, to hear that kind of thing, but I love it, because for me, I know with her, she's literally honest with me. She'll tell me what I must learn, and I have to be willing to listen. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, I think I would not do that again. Okay, that really sounds funny. And I have learned so much from people when I'm willing to, when I let them, speak in my, and I don't take it personal, don't take it so don't be offended by what someone says, you know, um, the only, sometimes people don't have the right words to, sugarcoat it to make it sound good for your ears. So you gotta pick the lesson and move on, okay? And that is why I want to tell the young people, mostly young people, be willing to learn from people. Have a teachable spirit, and that spirit will take you so many places. It will take you far, and you accomplish so many things, and you'll be like, wow, at the end of the day, we're on this planet to learn, to grow, and move on. You're born, you go through school, get a job, meet friends, get married, have children, and eventually grow old and die, right? So yeah, so let us make the process fun for us, so that we can be able to, like, benefit from it. Any opportunity that comes your way, and you see this is a good avenue for me to learn. If there's, if there's an opportunity, whether it's going back to school, adding a skill set. And right now we have so much knowledge. Many people are writing amazing books that have so much wisdom in them. Okay, we don't even have to go back to school nowadays to acquire knowledge. You just go on Google, on YouTube, learn from tutorials, learn from people. It's just amazing. There's so much knowledge out there. So go out and get it. Be willing to be poured into. Open your mind. Don't be in a certain bubble and you think this is what I believe, and this is what I think life is supposed to be. Life is diverse. So open your mind, open your brain to be able to see and learn from people that have walked the journey before you, that are amazing, that have so much to share with you. Do not close up yourself. Okay? So I feel like, for me, that was on my heart today, and I felt like I should share with you on how I have been able to benefit, on how I've been able to, to milk any opportunity that comes my way to get knowledge, because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, and it takes off nothing from you to learn from anybody. If someone critiques you for something you did wrong, what is gonna you're matter of fact, if someone doesn't critique you, someone doesn't love you, but someone who loves you will point it out for you, and you learn from it. So I keep telling my little sister, and I keep, even people that are below me or people that I work with, my friends, I keep telling them, you know what, you have to be willing to learn from anybody. And when someone critiques you, they are critiquing you from a place of love, if that person really cares about you. Of course, there are people that are really just negative and they just want to make you feel bad about yourself. Those are the people you need to stay away from. Those are the ones you don't need to listen to. But if you know that this is someone who really cares about me, someone loves me, and it comes from a good place, be willing to be poured into, be willing to learn. That's all for my today's episode. Thank you so much once again for staying with me this day and for listening into the very end. And if you like this kind of content, you like my kind of content, make sure you like, you share with your friends, and subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you don't miss out anytime I upload a new video. Until next time, stay blessed and stay safe. Take good care of yourself. Corona is real, guys, so take good care of yourself. Bye.